so there's a lot of fear about the SEC and the SEC regulating what we do. And the beautiful thing, everything that I do on raising capital is for single family houses. And everything that we do in this world of raising private money for single family houses is not regulated by the SEC, because everything we do is what's called asset-backed debt. Asset-backed debt.
If you're a real estate investor and are wondering how to raise and leverage private money to make more profit on every deal, then you're in the right place. On Raising Private Money, we'll speak with new and seasoned investors to dissect their deals and extract the best tips and strategies to help you get the money, because the money comes first. Now here's your host, Jay Conner.
So there's a lot of fear about the SEC and the SEC regulating what we do. And the beautiful thing, everything that I do on raising capital is for single family houses. And everything that we do in this world of raising private money for single family houses is not regulated by the SEC, because everything we do is what's called asset-backed debt. Asset-backed debt. The slang for that is a one-off. You've got a single family house. You might have one or two or three or whatever private lenders. Each of them have their own promissory note. They have their own deed of trust or a mortgage. So where the SEC really comes into regulating raising money is when you're raising money for a fund. And so when you're raising money for a fund, such as for a larger project, self-storage, apartment complexes, commercial buildings, etc., then the SEC is very involved, and you're going to hire an SEC attorney to prepare what's called a private placement memorandum, for example, for that fund. So anyway, Chaffee, you probably already said all that before I've signed back in. But anyway, I'm glad you asked that, because there's a lot of misconception and undue fear of the SEC when it comes to raising private money for single family houses. So I want to share with you all, I'm dying to share with you all this story. And so I'm going to share the story, and I want you all to tell me, you all would be you all, right? Everybody here, right? Anybody that hears takeaways: Chaffee, Crystal, Scott, Larry, Judy, Wally, Bill, Debbie, Terry. Anybody that hears takeaway, I mean, I know what takeaways I've got from this story, but I'm going to give you the facts. So I want y'all to write down these facts, and then let's learn from each other. What are the takeaways? What are the lessons learned from this, from what I'm getting ready to share? So I'm getting ready to share with you the facts. Here's the facts of this deal. So this deal is, the physical address is 6005 Brig, B-R-I-G Court. So 6005 Brig, B-R-I-G Court. By the way, welcome Tanda. I'm not sure how to say it, but good to see you. Good to see you here on PMA. Is this your first time with us on the PMA?
Maybe about my third time. I've been trying to get better with joining, but I'm happy to be here, and thank you for welcoming me, and sorry for joining late.
No, we're glad you're here. So what I'm getting ready to share now are facts about this deal that I just put under contract 1 hour ago before getting on this call. So I'm going to give you the facts. Then you all tell me, what did you hear? What did you learn? Here we go. Here's the facts. This lead, so this is an off-market lead. So this is a for sale by owner. For sale by owner. And this lead came in to our CMR system. This lead reached out to us on June 30th. June 30th is when the lead came in. Now, how did it come in? It was a Google ad. So the owner of this property went on Google, and who knows what they typed in, one of 75 or more phrases. Maybe they typed in "sell my house fast," or "buy my house," or "how to sell my house without a realtor. Who knows what they typed in? But they went on Google and they typed in. So Google saw jbuyshousesfast.com ad. So me and myself and my acquisitionist and my team, this lead came in on June 30th. So when the ad came in, so when this lead came in, we had their name and their phone number, and that was about it. No other details. All right. So we got the lead. They want to sell their house. So that same day, Kim, my acquisitionist, she got him on the phone, but before she got him on the phone, my AI in our proprietary software immediately started texting this lead to set an appointment, to set a phone appointment with Kim, my acquisitionist, to get the, details on the property. So Kim gets the seller on the phone, and she finds out that this home is waterfront. It's on a wide canal with 6 feet of water and it's got a lift. It's got a lift where you can put your boat, and it takes you out to the Neuse River. Also learned the house was built in 1950. Also learned that it's vacant. Nobody's living in it. That should tell you something. So it's vacant. And the owner has already removed the flooring and has started the rehab process, but has stopped. We don't know if they ran out of money, whatever, but they've stopped the rehab process. So the asking price from the seller was $300,000. That was the asking price. $300,000 was the asking price. And so that was pretty much all the information. So then Kim sent that information through our software, and I saw the information come in. I reviewed the lead.
Okay.
And then I sent a message to our realtor to give us the after repaired value. So realtor comes back and tells us the after repaired value is $425,000 is the after repaired value. So I'm looking at the asking price of $300,000. I'm looking at a after repaired value of $425,000, and I already know that the flooring is missing and there's going to be a renovation involved. So I already know this is a skinny deal with any kind of renovation involved. So I had Kim, the acquisitionist, contact the seller and say, hey, look, can you give us some kind of idea as to what these renovations would be before we drive 30 minutes away and look at the property? Seller comes back and says, I'm not a contractor. I'm not in construction. I have no idea. So that tells me we need to go take a look at the property, which we're going to look at it anyway, right? So my acquisitionist, Kim, schedules an appointment with the seller for our realtor that gave us the after repaired value of $425,000 and one of our general contractors to go look at the house and estimate the repairs. So the end of last week, last Friday, my general contractor and our realtor goes to the house. Now, the reason the realtor goes is to verify she hasn't changed her mind about the after repaired value. My contractor goes to work up the actual budget sheet and bid and quote for the rehab. All right, here it comes back. Our general contractor sends the rehab budget sheet to Kim, my acquisitionist. She sends it to me, and we got you might as well say the rehab is going to be $100,000 for easy figuring. So we got a rehab of $100,000. So now I know for sure that's not a deal based on the asking price. After repaired value is $425,000. They're asking $300,000. By the time I rehab it, I lost money because of realtor fees when it comes time to sell it and carrying costs. So I'm getting ready to tell you a fact that somebody should get a huge takeaway from this. So I run the numbers. I use the all cash formula for when you're paying all cash as to what the maximum amount should be that I'm going to pay when paying all cash. And so I instructed Kim day before yesterday to make the offer all cash of $200,000, not $300,000. Make an all cash offer of $200,000. We can close in 2 weeks. The seller had told us they wanted to sell just as soon as possible. So between it being vacant and wanting to sell as soon as possible, that should tell you something as well. So I told Kim to make the offer cash, $200,000, and we'll close within 2 weeks. I got an email with the DocuSign this afternoon of the offer is accepted at $200,000 and close within 2 weeks. So a recap of the numbers, the after repair value is $425, buying it for $200,000, rehab's $100, going to have $300 in it. So the profit on this deal is going to be $425,000 less $300. That leaves $125 less realtor fees coming time to sell it, less whatever the carrying costs are going to be. Those are the facts. Who would like to be the first person to share the takeaways on those facts? And if you're talking and you're muted, we can't hear you.
Jay, as it relates to after repaired value, did they also provide you the comps so that you were comfortable with the after repaired value?
Yes, good question, Terry. So when it comes to after repaired value, the question is really what kind of, I mean, how do you come up with that? So we don't rely on any online sources. I rely totally on my relationships with our realtors. I do business with 2 different realtors. One's in one county, one's in the other county. And so this realtor's name is Tracy. Tracy's been my primary realtor in this county for about 15 years. And so, yes, she provides the sold comps and the adjustments. And if anything, Tracy is usually conservative as to her number. So the ARV came directly from the realtor with the comps.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you for the question. All right, what are some lessons learned on this?
Seller motivated.
Larry, what indicators do you have that the seller was motivated and is motivated?
Well, they quit on the rehab. They wanted to sell quickly. That price indicated when they might have had a rough idea of what was going on. That was enough to want you to look and say, okay, I want to look at this myself. And since you had a realtor, why, that would speed up a lot of things. The fact that they wanted the 2 weeks, I think, was one of the highest motivation things.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing, Larry. Who else has got a takeaway?
Was there a question asked how far away the owner actually lived from the property since he did not live there? And
oh, good question, Terry. So he lives in the same city, and had moved out, was starting the renovation. But that's a great question, Terry. The further they live away from the property, the more motivated they are, typically. All right, Crystal, I know you got some big takeaways. So, Crystal, you go next, and then Chaffee on the takeaways.
I've got a takeaway if you're still taking others.
Sure.
So always make an offer, no matter what, and make an offer that works for you, and maybe even make an offer that asks for the moon.
So, Paul, I'm so glad you said that, because if you didn't, Crystal was getting ready to. So that's a huge takeaway. As you just said, Paul, in this real story. You got a seller asking 300,000. Probably there's a lot of real estate investors out there that would just give up and not even make the offer. They're saying, you know, who's going to accept an offer $100,000 less than what they're asking? So here's a write or down or less. A seller has no idea what they're going to accept until you make the offer. Now, maybe this seller did know they would take 200, but I don't know. I mean, hey, look, I mean, here's another side takeaway. Even if this seller had told us, I'm not taking a penny less than $300,000, don't believe them. What you just said, Paul, is, you know, I never bought a house I didn't make an offer on. I never bought a house I didn't make an offer on. So if you want the property, for goodness sakes, make the offer. But it's just not make the offer. It's justify the offer. So when Kim, my acquisitionist, is calling up this seller and making the offer, well, she's telling the seller, here's what this rehab is going to cost for us to get it to where we can market it and put it in the multiple listing service. So we're making the offer, we're justifying the offer, and we're making the offer just as clean as possible. What do I mean by clean? No contingencies. You know, now, when you make an offer and there's a major rehab, you better get a home inspection, right? But I'm not worrying with the home inspection until after I go under contract, right? So that's another important part of this scenario. If I'm going to close within 2 weeks, or if you're going to close within 2 weeks, you got to have a relationship with all your players to move fast. Relationship with the real estate attorney, relationship with the home inspector, right? I mean, I don't need, even though my contractor has crawled underneath this house, I don't need a $30,000 oops for Murphy to show up without that home inspection. Thank you for sharing that, Paul. Oh, welcome back, Crystal. I feel your pain. I feel your pain. I hope you didn't have like the windows kick you off again, but whatever. One thing you said, Chaffee, so important. The money comes first. This deal would not be under contract unless I already had the private money lined up, ready to close. And, you know, I mean, one of the most stressful things I know that I hear from people all the time is they get the deal under contract, then they think they got to go try and raise the money. That is like blankety blank backwards, right? So we get the money first. So this deal would not have happened. That's another big takeaway without having the money lined up first. I know.
Are you feeling inspired by the knowledge you gained in this episode? Then head over to jconner.com/moneyguide. That's jconner.com/moneyguide and download your free guide that shares 7 reasons why private money will skyrocket your real estate investing business right now. Again, that's jconner.com/moneyguide to get your free guide. We'll see you next time on Raising Private Money